All right, all right. So we're going to go ahead and get started this morning with the Level Up Mastermind. Today we are going to talk about just the commission splits and fees. We're not really going to talk about rev share. That's another day. We're not going to talk about stock awards. That's another day. Today is really just more about understanding what the commission splits are and the fees, and we can kind of compare that to some other companies or some other models. And I'd like to also kind of draw out what those numbers look like in reality. So to kind of give you an example of what those numbers stack up to be, as if someone joins the company and they're like, okay, it's an 80-20 split, but now what? Like, so what do you explain? So we'll just get right into it, and I'm going to share my screen, and I will admit people as they come in. I'm sure somebody else will probably come in. All right. So this is pretty much it. The fees and commission splits. We'll just kind of start from the beginning. So number one, understand that when someone joins eXp Realty, they're not getting any special treatment, regardless of their production, regardless of their company, regardless of their affiliation. eXp does not give any special treatment across the country. So if anyone ever asks, is there an opportunity for a better split? Can I increase my split to the company to hit my cap faster? That answer is no. It's always going to be no, and it's the right way of doing it, in my opinion. But so yeah, we don't really have any specific standards, or any specific incentives really to give an agent to come over to the company, other than what the model is, and fully explaining that model. I think it's really important. We're just going to kind of jump in here. So when someone comes over to the company, they always go, what are the splits? And the split is 80-20 split, no matter what, with a 16K cap to the company. So what does that mean? If it's a $10,000 commission, you're going to get, just for simple numbers, is $8,000 to the agent and $2,000 to the company. And on top of that $8,000, you're also responsible for a few other fees that we'll kind of get into here. But just to help you kind of understand, I just want to get into, so just the commission splits, not talking about the fees, but the commission splits. So it's an 80-20 split with a 16K cap. That means once you do $80,000 in gross commission, 20% of that is 16,000, which means you will have hit your 16K cap. Okay. So when someone comes over to the company, they say, well, how much production do I have to do in order to hit my cap? It's $80,000 in gross commission. And there's no real minimum on the amount of transactions to hit your cap. If you do, I think it's like 1.6 million or something like that in total, you can hit your cap. I think that's about right. But just making sure that you've got to do 80,000 in gross commission, and understand 20% of that is 16K. Okay. Next is to understand some of the fees that are associated with eXp Realty. In the United States, we have a risk management fee. Every company has what they call their E&O insurance, or errors and omissions insurance. We call it a risk management fee. That is $40, but it caps at $500 every year. So if you're doing transactions and you've done, what is that? That's 20 transactions, I believe. Is that right? Wait, no, it's not 20 transactions. It's what's 500 divided by 40? Anyways, so you're going to do that risk management fee up to $500 per transaction, the $40 risk management fee, and it caps at 500. Okay. And then $25 broker review fee, that does not go away. The $25 broker review fee will always be there. So going back to that example of a $10,000 commission, you're going to have, you're going to get $8,000, company's going to get $2,000, and then you're responsible for paying the risk management fee of $40 and the broker review fee of $25. So an additional $65. So you're looking at, what is that? It's $79.35 would be your actual commission to yourself minus the fees. So that's important to know. Next is the fees that are, any questions about the 80-20 split or the broker review fee or risk management fee? Nope. Okay, cool. Next up is the fees for the company. So understand that when someone starts the company, starts in the company, they're going to be charged $149. So when they are going through the join.exp realty link and they've created a profile to get their independent contractor agreement, in order to get the ICA, they have to put a credit card on file, and it will not charge them until they're through onboarding that 149. And that's what that is. That's the startup fee, $149. It covers your first month fee. And so it's kind of all inclusive. So going into the 85, every month that you're with eXp Realty, it's an $85 a month cloud brokerage fee. And what does that $85 include? So it includes your SkySlope, your KV Core, your training, your education, and it's going to cover, like, we don't have any desk fees. We don't have it's also a technology fee as well, but it's not. Oh, it also covers your marketing center with eXp Realty. So just for example, KV Core alone, if you were to get KV Core, which is the CRM and website that they provide, kind of the lead generation platform for agents at eXp, if you go and buy KV Core on your own outside of eXp, that is about a $500 minimum a month payment. So the $85 is really worth it to join eXp for not only the splits, but also for the technology that you get with it. So it's honestly just a heck of a deal. One thing to note about being with eXp, a question that I do get often is there a minimum requirement for agent attraction and deals? Like, is there a minimum amount of deals that I have to do in the company? Is there a minimum amount of people that I need to recruit? The answer is no for both of those. As long as you are paying the $85, you will not be responsible for doing any transactions if you do not want to. And you're not responsible for joining or asking any agents to join the company. So it's just something to note about that. And those are the fees. And so once you hit your 16K cap, what happens now? So you're going to move into what's called a 100% capped model. And that's where you were going to have, whenever you do a $10,000 commission, you will get a $10,000 commission to you, other than but you will owe a $25 broker review fee. And if you still owe, it's a $250 transaction fee and a $25 broker review fee. And if you haven't hit the $500 capped on your risk management, you're still going to be responsible for paying that 40. So for example, I think that totals $315 if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to have $10,000 minus $315, which is, let's do some quick math in my head, $96.85. Yes. Yeah, $96.85. So you would get a commission check for $96.85 deposited into your account. And of course, if you've already hit the risk management fee, then of course you're only going to be responsible for the $25 fee and the $250 fee as well. Now, how long do you have to pay $250? That is capped at $5,000. So once you've done $80,000 in gross commission and you've paid $16,000 to the company, you then move into the $250 transaction fee, 100% commission model. And then if you do another 20 transactions after you've hit that cap and you've paid that $250 up to $5,000, which is 20 more deals, then you become eligible for what's called Icon. And so you will have paid the company an additional $5,000 in transaction fees on top of the 16K. So that's going to get you to $21,000 paid into the company. Now you're eligible for the Icon program. And then you move into what's called a 100% model with a really, really small transaction fee of $75. So that $250, once you've hit Icon, once you've done the 16K, paid another $5,000 in transaction fees, you then move into the 100% model with a $75 transaction fee. And of course, you will always have the broker review fee of $25, and you absolutely would have already hit your $500 in risk management. So it's really a total of, if you were doing a $10,000 commission minus $100, a $75 transaction fee, and the $25 broker review fee. Okay. Now, once you're at Icon, that is where you're now eligible to start receiving your cap, the $16K that you originally paid in. You're now eligible to receive that back in stock awards, and that's done really in about it's done in 3 phases. So initially, I didn't put it in here, but so initially, when you do, once you hit Icon, then you're going to have an opportunity to get the $16K back. But initially, eXp is going to give you $8,000. Okay. So they're going to give you half of your cap back immediately. So you'll get $8,000. And then they have what's called cultural requirements. So the cultural requirements could be attending a panel or sitting on a panel during a training. It could be interviewing agents, but they're also coming out with a point system that eXp is about to release on how agents can meet the cultural requirements. And also, actually, one of the requirements on Icon, when I was reading about it, is actually to be promoting eXp within the community. So as long as you're promoting within your community, building a culture, and participating in those, you can earn an additional $4,000 in your cap back. So that's going to get you your $8,000 initially given back. Once you hit the cultural requirements, oh wait, let me back up. That $8,000, when they initially give you that back, the $8,000 has a 3-year vesting period. Okay, that's a 3-year vesting period. It's not the same for all of them. Once you hit the, is it the, oh gosh, I can't remember which one it is. It's the, hold on, I may have it right here. Did I pull it up? I think it's, oh yeah, okay. So once you meet the cultural requirements, you get $4,000 back, and that's a 2-year vesting period. Oh, sorry, my screen sharing was paused. Sorry, can you see it now? Good. Okay, so the $8,000 production award is a 3-year vesting period. The $4,000 you get back for the cultural requirements is a 2-year vesting period. And once you attend an event, so this is the last phase of getting your $16K cap back, is attending the 2 events, is attending the annual events, the eXp Con and the shareholders events. You get $2,000 for each event. So that vests immediately. There's no vesting period once you participate in those. So if you go to those, there's no vesting period. There's no 3-year waiting period to obtain those $2,000. So yes, it does cost money to go to those, but now it may have cost you $2,000 to get there, but they're going to give you that $2,000 back in immediately. It's completely already vested $2,000 back. So that is actually how that Icon program works. There is also an award that they send you that we have a couple of those in the office, but that is an explanation of all of the eXp standard costs, the commissions, and the fees. So any questions about that? Or did you have any questions about what that looks like from a total standpoint?
No, you explained it pretty well.
Okay, so just to review, you've got your 16K cap back. You got your 16K cap, and then you'll have, I've just got it written down here, you've got $5,000 in transaction fees on top of that. Plus, okay, and this is on an example, if you did $6,000 commissions, or yeah, if you received $6,000 commissions, and you did 60 transactions a year, you would totally pay into eXp $24,875. That's including your broker review fees of $1,500, $500 in risk management, $1,875 in the transaction fees, Once you go to the complete 100% commission model, the 5,000, which is the 250, and then the 16K cap. So it's less than $25,000, and then you have the opportunity to earn your 16K back. So take 16 off of that, and realistically, someone has paid in $8,875 if they're doing $6,000 commissions and they do 60 deals a year. So that is a full breakdown. Any questions, conversations?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. One thing to note is there's a lot of most companies do different splits everywhere. And the reason why is because they're franchise models. They're not one brokerage. I think that's how eXp really plays, how they really pull this off with the agents, is that they are, eXp is just one brokerage. It's not a franchise like a Keller Williams or a Remax or Coldwell Banker, because it's up to the franchises to determine what their commissions, their fees. There's no royalty fees for the brand eXp. That's something important to note to most agents, because like if you're with Keller Williams and you're on a 70-30 split, what that 70-30 split does not include is the 6% royalty fee. So in reality, they're really more like a 64-36. So it's incredibly more advantageous to be at eXp because of what, not only just the commission split model, but what you can get back. Because one thing I like about what we do is that it's a revenue share, not a profit share. So like we talked about with Keller Williams, is that, your profit share can vary so much, but with a revenue share, it's a lot more predictable outcome. And as well as it being it's a publicly traded company with a 50-50 initiative to always have a 50-50 split with the income of eXp Realty. So they're always going to pay it out. They're always going to pay out a minimum of 50% to the agents. So for example, at the beginning of this year, we received a dividend check from eXp because the agents were actually underpaid on that 50% by the end of the year when they did all the do the balance sheet. Good stuff.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Well, if no one has any more questions, I'm actually going to tie this thing up with a bow and we will all get to work. And this is recorded too, so I'm going to post this on the YouTube page. So if you want to share this with anybody, any other agents, more than happy to share this with them. If you have somebody that wants to chat or talk, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to set up a Zoom call and run through this with them as well. And yay, go eXp.
All right. See ya.
All right, guys.